You're drowning. Not literally, but you're overwhelmed, exhausted, barely keeping your head above water. And people around you have no idea. Because you look fine. You sound fine. You say you're fine. Even when you're not. Even when you desperately need help. You just can't bring yourself to ask for it. Not because you don't want it, but because something deep inside you believes that asking makes you weak. Makes you a burden. Makes you unworthy. And so you suffer in silence, carrying weight you were never meant to carry alone. This isn't about being independent. This isn't about being strong or self-sufficient. This is about people who would rather break than bend, who would rather collapse under the weight than admit they need support, who experience genuine physical pain before they'll reach out. And the world calls this strength, calls it resilience, calls it having it together. But you know the truth. It's not strength. It's armor. It's not independence. It's isolation. It's not pride. It's survival strategy from a time when asking for help meant rejection, disappointment, or worse. Today we're exploring the psychology of people who never ask for help. And if you've ever felt like you'd rather suffer alone than risk the vulnerability of asking, this is for you. Let's start with what everyone assumes. That if you don't ask for help, you must not need it. That you're just naturally capable. That you have everything under control. That you're one of those people who just handles things. But here's what they don't see. You're not handling it. You're barely surviving it. You're not naturally capable. You're desperately compensating. You don't have everything under control. You're just really good at hiding when you don't. And when people do offer help, you deflect. I'm good. It's not a big deal. I've got it. Even when you don't. Even when accepting would save you. Because something in you learned that needing help is dangerous. That depending on others leads to disappointment. That the only person you can truly rely on is yourself. And that belief, it's not keeping you safe. It's keeping you alone. So what's actually happening psychologically? It starts with attachment. As children, we learn whether asking for help is safe or dangerous. Whether needs will be met or dismissed. Whether vulnerability leads to comfort or rejection. If your early experiences taught you that asking for help led to disappointment, criticism, or being told to figure out yourself, your brain coded a simple equation. Asking for help equals pain. And pain is to be avoided. This gets wired into your nervous system. When you think about asking for help, your body triggers a stress response. Shame, anxiety, fear. Not because asking is objectively dangerous, but because your brain remembers when it was. Psychologists call this counterdependency. It looks like independence, but it's actually a defense mechanism. You're not choosing to do everything alone. You're compulsively avoiding the vulnerability of needing anyone. And there's a difference. True independence means you can ask for help when you need it. Counterdependency means you can't ask even when you're desperate. Of course, not everyone who avoids asking for help has trauma. Some people were simply never taught how to rely on others safely. So where does this start? Usually in childhood, in one of several ways. Maybe you had caregivers who were overwhelmed themselves, who couldn't handle your needs on top of their own. And you learned early that your job was to not add to their burden. That being good meant being low maintenance. That love was conditional on not needing too much. Or maybe you asked for help and were met with frustration. Criticism. Why can't you figure this out yourself? You're being dramatic. It's not that hard. And you learned that asking revealed weakness. That needing made you inadequate. Or maybe people promised help and didn't follow through. So they'd be there and weren't. And you learned that depending on others leads to disappointment. That the only reliable person is you. Or maybe you were just parentified early. Had to be the responsible one. The caretaker. The one who held everything together. And asking for help felt like failing at your role. Like admitting you couldn't handle what you were supposed to handle. Whatever the origin, the message was the same. You're on your own. Don't ask. Don't need. Don't depend. Just handle it. And you've been handling it ever since. Even when it's destroying you. And beneath the behavior are beliefs. Beliefs you might not even consciously recognize, but that drive everything. If I ask for help, I'm weak. As if needing support is failure. As if every human being doesn't require help sometimes. As if strength means never bending. If I ask for help, I'm a burden. As if your needs are inherently too much. as if caring about you is an imposition, as if you don't deserve the same support you'd freely give to others. If I ask for help, they'll say no. And that rejection will confirm what you already fear, that you're alone, that no one's really there for you, that you can't count on anyone. If I ask for help, I'll owe them. And owing feels dangerous, like losing autonomy, like giving someone power over you, like becoming trapped in obligation, or the deepest one. If I need help, there's something wrong with me, as if healthy people don't need support, as if needing means you're damaged, broken, fundamentally flawed. None of these beliefs are true, but when you've carried them since childhood, they feel like truth. They feel like reality, and they keep you trapped in painful isolation. The cost of never asking for help is real, and it's heavy. It wears down your body. Chronic stress, exhaustion, burnout. Carrying everything alone keeps your nervous system in constant survival mode, and over time, it shows up as illness, fatigue, and collapse. It erodes your relationships. Because you never let anyone see you struggle, people assume you don't need them. They stop offering, not because they don't care, but because you never gave them a way in, and it limits your life. You turn down support that could have made things easier. You restrict yourself to what you can handle alone, which is always less than what you could do with help. You think you're protecting your independence, but what you're really doing is shrinking your world. So when does self-reliance become pathological? When you can't ask for help even when you desperately need it. Even when asking would prevent disaster. Even when people are offering freely. It's unhealthy when you'd rather fail than ask. When you'd rather be in pain than vulnerable. When you'd rather collapse than admit you're struggling. It's unhealthy when you feel physical revulsion at the thought of asking. When shame overwhelms you for even considering it. When you'd sooner disappear than let anyone see you need something. It's unhealthy when you resent people for not helping, even though you never asked. When you expect them to read your mind. When you're angry, they don't see you're drowning, even though you're pretending you're fine. And it's unhealthy when you can give endlessly but can't receive at all. When you're there for everyone, but let no one be there for you. When relationships are one way, with you always in the helper role, never the helped. The irony is that people who never ask for help often desperately want it. They just can't access it. They're waiting to be saved, but would never ask to be. And that's not strength. That's suffering. So how do you start asking when every cell in your body resists it? You start small, painfully small. Ask for something tiny, something that doesn't feel life or death. Can you grab that for me? Could you send me that link? Not because you can't do it yourself, but because you're practicing the act of asking. Notice what happens. Probably nothing bad. Probably they just help. And your catastrophic predictions don't come true. They don't roll their eyes. They don't call you weak. They just do the thing. Because most people want to help. You just never let them. Then practice stating needs before they become emergencies. I'm overwhelmed this week. I might need support. Not waiting until you're drowning. Not asking for someone to save you. Just acknowledging you're human and might need help. And here's the hardest part. Let people help badly. They might not do it the way you would. It might not be perfect, and you have to let that be okay. Because if you only accept help that meets your standards, you'll never accept help at all. Start seeing asking as a gift to others. Because people want to feel useful, want matter to you. And by never asking, you're denying them that. You're making the relationship unequal. You're saying, I'll be there for you, but you can't be there for me. And that's not connection. That's control. Here's what you need to understand. Asking for help isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's recognizing that you're human, that you have limits, that you were never meant to do life alone. Needing help doesn't make you a burden. It makes you human. Every person you know needs help sometimes. You don't think less of them for it. So why do you think they'll think less of you? And asking for help isn't giving up your independence. It's actually what makes real independence possible. Because people who can ask for help don't burn out, don't hit walls they can't get past. They access support that allows them to keep going. The people who never ask for help don't end up stronger. They end up more isolated, more exhausted, more alone, and eventually they break. Because no one can carry everything forever. True strength isn't never needing anyone. True strength is being brave enough to need someone, to be vulnerable, to admit you're struggling, to let someone see you're not fine and trust they won't abandon you for it. You've been so busy proving you don't need anyone that you've forgotten how to let anyone in. You've been so focused on being strong that you've made yourself brittle. And there's nothing strong about breaking alone when you could have been held. The people who love you want to help you. They want to be there for you. But you have to let them. You have to crack open that armor just enough to let someone through. And yes, it's terrifying. Yes, it feels like dying. But it's actually what lets you live. You don't have to carry everything alone. You were never supposed to.